who do you think is the most concerning?
I would say right now, I mean, there's a lot to be said about big tech, a lot to be said about Wall Street. I would say right now, it's the first family, it's the Biden family, because they are the first family, and also the nature of what we know about the deals that they have.
How long has the Biden family been in cahoots with the Chinese?
A good question. It really started when Joe Biden became president of the United States, and you can almost look at the calendar and see when President Barack Obama appointed Joe Biden as the point person for U.S. foreign policy towards China. That's when it all started to happen. And those events to me are connected. And that I think is important because China certainly knew that. The Biden family certainly knew that. And what happened is Hunter Biden, his son, started making trips to China looking for business deals.
It's interesting. So are they using Hunter to get to Joe or to influence Joe? Do you think they're actively influencing
I think they
President
are.
Biden?
I think they are. And I think it happens a couple of ways. So what's important to note is that, we got access to the Hunter Biden laptop. We got access to the Gmail account of one of his business partners, Bevan Cooney. He shared access to that account with us. So we wanted to look at all that and see, so who made these deals happen for Hunter Biden in China? Or as my kids would say, who made it rain, right? Who made it rain for the Bidens in China? And then we wanted to try to quantify it. So it started in 2012, 2013. We found that the Bidens got some $31 million in deals from China. To my mind, there's no discernible business activity or service that was performed. They didn't set up some banking deal for them somewhere. So you have to wonder what's the $31 million for. But when it comes to the question of who made it rain, it's 4 businessmen. I name them in the book. Every single one of those businessmen has ties to the highest levels of Chinese intelligence. So to pick just one example, a businessman named Che Feng, Hunter Biden in the emails calls him the super chairman. And at one point he says, I don't believe in the lottery anymore, but I believe in the super chairman. Che Feng, the super chairman, sets up a $20 million private equity deal for Hunter, where he really doesn't bring anything to the table. It's a Chinese government financed investment plan. Hunter Biden's put on the board. He's given an ownership stake. At the time Che Feng is making that deal happen, he is business partners with the vice minister for state security in China.
Which is the Chinese version of CIA.
Exactly. Of CIA, KGB, FBI, everything exactly rolled into one. And this guy that he's business partners with, his responsibilities include foreign recruitment. So you already look at that. That's just one of them. The other 3 also all have their intel ties. Another guy that helps him with that $20 million deal, but also helps him with another $5 million cash transfer is a guy named Mr. Zhao. He goes by Henry Zhao. At the time he was helping Hunter Biden, he was business partners with the daughter of the former minister of state security who ran the entire spy apparatus of China. So you see where this is going.
I just want to go back for just a second.
Yeah.
So when you talk about he was in charge, Che Feng's business partner was in charge of foreign national recruitment.
Yeah.
What that means is they're recruiting Americans and flipping them as Chinese spies. So they're paying Americans to spy for China.
Correct. That was his responsibility. He was also reportedly in charge of North American intelligence operations, which means he would, of course, have responsibility for Washington, D.C., Silicon Valley, all the things that we've been talking about. So we can go through all 4 of those. We've looked through Che Feng, business partners with the Vice Minister of State Security, Mr. Zhao, business partners with the daughter of the former Minister of State Security. You look at a guy named Chairman Yi, who ran an energy company. Before he ran that energy company, he ran an organization that was wholly funded by Chinese military intelligence. And he, made cash transfers to Hunter Biden. So this is not just a story of, trading off a family name, of cronyism, self-dealing, corruption. I mean, you're more expert in this than I am. This to me has all the markings of an intelligence operation designed to capture the son of the then vice president and hopefully to extend that to the family. I don't know if you share that view, but it has the markings of it to me.
Yeah, I think it's pretty out in the open.
It's pretty remarkable. And so then the other question becomes, so we're talking about Hunter Biden and these deals. Where does this money go? And it's hard to know. If you look at the laptop, Hunter Biden has all these LLCs, all these bank accounts, all these pass-through accounts. But we do know a couple things. We know that $2 million of this money went to James Biden, who is Joe Biden's brother. And we also know that Hunter Biden was paying some of his father's bills while he was vice president of the United States.
So that's how Hunter's getting the money to President Biden.
Correct. He was paying monthly bills. He was paying, his dad was having renovations done on his home up in Delaware. Those are being paid by Hunter Biden and his business partners. We found tens of thousands of dollars. I'm sure it's more, but it's just hard deconstructing it. So, what that means is that Joe Biden is a beneficiary. There's even a text message that Hunter Biden sends to, I think it's his daughter, where his daughter's asking him for money. She's in her 20s. Those of us that are older that have kids, you're in the situation where your kids need money. And Hunter Biden's frustrated and he says to her, well, I don't have cash right now, but hopefully you're not going to be in my situation. I'm not going to ask you to do what Pop asked me to do, which is send you half the money that I earn.
Are you serious?
Yes, he says that in a text message. Now, is that hyperbole? Is he exaggerating? Maybe, I don't know. But he said it, and there is absolutely evidence that he is subsidizing his dad's lifestyle, which, by the way, raises questions about all this Chinese money. But also, to be clear, it's illegal. You cannot, as a politician, you cannot have family members and family member businesses subsidizing your lifestyle. So that's absolutely against the law, what they were doing. It reaches a crescendo, Shawn, on this intelligence side in 2017 when Joe Biden is now out of the Obama administration. He's a private citizen. And Hunter Biden in the emails writes to the landlord of one of the places where he has office space. And he's saying, I need you to set up placards, outside of the door of the suite of offices we have, because we're going to be moving various offices in there. And he wants a placard for his business, Rosemont. He wants a placard for his dad, who is now, former vice president of the United States. And he wants a placard for the Biden administration. And then he wants a placard made for this CEFC, this Chinese energy company. They're all going to share office space together. CEFC, the Chinese energy company, is the one run by Chairman Yi, who ran this organization funded by Chinese military intelligence. So you had a situation where the former vice president of the United States, who was later going to run for president, was going to be sharing office space with an entity run by a guy linked to Chinese military intelligence. The only reason it didn't happen is that an executive from CEFC was arrested in New York on corruption and espionage charges by the FBI, convicted, and that blew up the Chinese energy company. Had that not happened, the Biden family, I think, would have been sharing office space with an entity linked to Chinese intelligence. That's how bad it got.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.